let's see if I can get through this without any interruptions from the baby. What up, viewers? What up? What up? Calc Soups here, and today is Saturday, December 4th, and that means it's time for a quick recap of the week in video game news. We've been able to play it for quite a few weeks now, but Halo launches next week. So there was a live-action trailer that launched this week, which I was pretty excited about. Had a lot of like War Never Changes kind of Fallout vibes to it. They also had the launch trailer this week, and I actually sat down and watched like a 30-minute video on the timeline of Halo, because it's been a long time since I played any of the Halo games and I don't quite know what the story's all about. So yeah, I'll have links down below to check all those out. But you know, this week we're preparing for the launch of Halo, which is pretty surprising. There's usually not very many big launches in December timeframe, so I am looking forward to playing Halo in the month of December. Speaking of other pretty big games that are launching, Final Fantasy XIV is launching its Endwalker content next week, and I know that's got a lot of my friends excited. So I didn't know that this was kind of like an end of an era. It sounds like I don't know too much about the plot of Final Fantasy XIV, but it sounds like a pretty major plot point is coming to an end. So I think that's what's got a lot of my friends a buzz about it. So very exciting stuff, and again, pretty surprising to see a lot of content dropping in December, which is usually a pretty slow month for the games industry. After talking about those two big games, there is still more games that are launching this week. This week saw the launch of Solar Ash, which is an Annapurna interactive published game from the developer Heart Machine, which you might know as the developers of Hyper Light Drifter. And so if you like the kind of the third-person action from Hyper Light Drifter, I think Solar Ash is going to be somewhat in the same vein. It's currently at a 79 Metacritic, so pretty well received. And I always like the things that are... I typically track a lot of Annapurna interactive games because I think they do a really good job. And they have a lot of really cool games. Solar Ash also looks very beautiful. So if you're looking for something aesthetically pleasing to be playing in the month of December, look no further than Solar Ash. Starfield got a pretty cool teaser this week. Todd Howard and a couple of developers at Bethesda Game Studio talked about, you know, the success of Skyrim, the fact that people are still playing it, and how that kind of success influences Starfield. The idea that players will still be playing the game 10 years later, I would assume, has a pretty big influence on your kind of development cycle. So I'm pretty excited for Starfield. It definitely sounds like it's going to be space Fallout, but like very much more of like the exploration, and that's what they talked about as well, is that a lot of Bethesda Game Studio games have been about like this exploration aspect and giving you really big worlds, and the fact that you take that kind of idea and put it in space, which is the final frontier, where everyone wants to be exploring. Pretty exciting stuff. So it was a pretty cool, quick watch. So I'll have a link down below in the description if you want to check that out. Rumors abound this week as Sony said that they are going to get in on the Game Pass market. So they already have PS Now. They have PS Plus as their subscription service for online gaming, but they're looking to merge those two things. Whether or not this means that we'll get, you know, Sony exclusive first-party titles day and date on this new service, I think remains to be seen. I think that a lot of their developers still want to make that kind of front-end money, but yeah, that's the state of the world. I think that Game Pass is doing really well. People still question how it makes its money, but it's definitely been a pretty big influence on the market. And the fact that I'll be playing Halo next week by just paying a $10 subscription fee. Actually, I paid the $15 Ultimate Edition, but the fact that I'll only be paying $15 to play Halo day and date is a pretty big market mover. So surprising it took Sony this long to realize. I did a comparison between PS Now and Game Pass. a long time ago, and it's not even close. Like, you know, PS Now has a lot of archived, a pretty deep archive of games, but I think people want to be playing the newest, latest, and greatest games immediately on their consoles, and so Sony's got to get on it. They might be winning the hardware wars, but they are definitely not winning the subscription service wars. So interesting to see what they do with it. All of this is kind of rumors and speculation as far as I know. Nothing's firm. Sony hasn't said specifically what they're doing, but some reports came out this week talking about Sony's version of Game Pass. So I'd be interested to see. Price point's going to be a pretty big deal. Most subscription services fall in the $5 to $15 range, so they can't do anything more than that. And whether or not we're going to get to play Horizon Forbidden West or God of War day and date, I think will be a pretty big factor for whether or not people invest in Sony's version of Game Pass. Moving right along, Gabe Newell has something to be thankful about. Last week, over the course of Thanksgiving weekend, Steam hit its highest concurrent users ever, with 27 million concurrent users. I think I'm trying to remember what the previous record was and any of that kind of stuff, but I think Thanksgiving, part of it was aided by a very, very minor part of it was aided by like games like Halo. The fact that we could play Halo Infinite multiplayer on Steam was a pretty big factor. And yeah, I think a lot of people, again, still living in the COVID world, people were staying in, not a lot of traveling, so I could see a lot of people hopping on their PCs and playing games that weekend. So, you know, like I said, Gabe Newell's got something to be thankful for. So looking pretty good there. Something I hadn't heard about popped up on my newsfeed this week. It Takes Two, the game by Hazel Light, the company behind, with Josef Fares, the company behind A Way Out, launched back in March, and since then they've been in a legal battle with Take-Two over a trademark dispute because they tried to trademark the name of the game, It Takes Two, and Take-Two, the publisher of, you know, GTA and other big games, all the 2K games, is in a trademark dispute with them. So pretty interesting. I think sometimes these things get pretty funny. I think this is kind of funny, but It Takes Two, Take-Two, somehow you can make the argument there, I guess. So, but yeah, the trademark dispute is still ongoing, and we don't know how it's going to resolve. So just something that popped up. I didn't know that this was happening. So pretty interesting stuff this week. So I'm a pretty big Halo fan. I've bought the collector's editions for several of the Halo games, but I don't know that I'm $2,400 a fan of Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite and Swarovski crystals, you know, the rhinestone crystals you see on like on car frames, they're pairing up. This is a brand integration with them, and they're making a beam sword and Spartan helmet, all being sold for $2,400. So yeah, I don't know that that's quite the demographic intersection that you necessarily want, but it's interesting stuff. So yeah, I wonder how this will sell. You know, I don't know that the overlap between Halo Infinite fans and Swarovski crystal buyers is very big, but you know, you only have to sell a couple in order to make $10,000. So yeah, pretty crazy stuff. There's even more games launching this week. Launching today, in fact, is Icarus, which is a game I'd kind of kept on my radar, but it's a the sci-fi co-op survival game from the creator of DayZ, and they launched they did a 20-minute I don't know, short film about kind of setting up the premise of the world and a lot of the environment and the ambiance of the game. All pretty interesting stuff. So if you're looking for a pretty cool looking survival co-op survival game, which I know that me and my friends are constantly looking for a way to build up ways and survive in harsh environments together. So yeah, Icarus it launches today. Deep Rock Galactic is looking to update its game with its Season 2 content. And they said with this new content coming down the barrel that they are going to be more focused on smaller content updates faster, which I always thought was a pretty good idea for most developers. Is I think people want small content updates faster. I think anytime you can make something small and iterate on it, I think you're gonna get something a little bit better than kind of big content drops, because people their interest will shift away if it takes too long. And I think there's also a double-edged sword there where people want deep content when they get content drops. Something, looking back at like Destiny 2's content drops and like 5 hour of story content, people got mad at that. So people do want deep content, but I think they want it quickly so you don't lose your player base. But I'm looking for more drunken dwarf mining with friends. So I'm looking forward to the content they've got coming down the pipe. Last but certainly not least, Fall Guys. You remember Fall Guys. I remember Fall Guys. Fall Guys Season 6 is coming out soon. And it looks like they're going for a carnival theme. So you got a lot of strongmen, and they've added pneumatic tubes to the game. They've added water balloons. I think I've been hearing about those over the course of the last couple weeks as they've been building up for the launch of Season 6. Fall Guys has probably changed enough. I was talking about this with my friends. It's probably changed enough since I played in Season 2 that it might be worth just hopping in one night and playing some Fall Guys with some friends. So they've also got an Aloy skin coming out. I know that they're always looking for brand integrations for those skins that people love. So I'm curious to see if I hop into Fall Guys what kind of skins everybody's got, because I've still got Season 2 skins to go through. But yeah, pretty interesting stuff. I'm looking for some cuddly games to play with friends on an afternoon, and so or an evening during the holidays. So Fall Guys could definitely fill that niche, and I'm looking forward to Season 6. That's it for this week. Let me know if you think I forgot anything down below in the comments. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy this content. If you do, follow, like, and subscribe to me on YouTube and Twitch so you can see more great content like this. I'll have links down below in the description. Thanks again. I hope you have a super day. I hope you have a super weekend. And I hope you have a super day. Bye!